Hi, I'm Ryan. I recently retired from the Navy. Here's another Navy story. Uh, Getting shots in boot camp was a really interesting experience. So everyone had to get the same shots. It didn't matter if you had been fully vaccinated or didn't have any vaccinations. They were going to baseline all of us the same, so everyone got the same shots. So the way they controlled it was they put a piece of tape or pieces of tape on the floor about every like 2 or 2.5 feet apart. So about every 30 inches or so, there would be a piece of tape. We all lined up in a line, took off our shirts. You would step up to the first piece of tape, and there would be corpsmen lined up along the sides of it, and they would give you one shot in your left arm, one shot in your right arm, and then you would take a step forward, and then you would get another shot in your left arm, another shot in your right arm, step forward, two more shots until you got to the end of the line. So you ended up getting 9 or 10 shots, something like that, in a span of about a minute. So it was really efficient, but not super fun. So the last thing that you got was a penicillin shot. Um, so the way you got that was they would have 4 people at a time go into this room. You would lean over a bench, pull your pants down, pull your underwear down. They told you don't look behind you because they didn't want you looking at the needle or anything. And then they would inject you with what felt like the biggest needle you could ever imagine, and they injected you with penicillin right in your butt. It just felt like it had the consistency of peanut butter. It just hurt so bad. It made you so sore. Like the people couldn't walk afterwards. The next day, I slept on the top bunk in my compartment, and so the next day at Reveille, I jumped down like I normally do and just hit the ground and immediately fell right down to the floor because I couldn't put that much weight on my sore butt. So it was a ridiculous thing. So I thought that's just how penicillin shots were. And then a couple years later, I was talking to my sister, who's a nurse, and just telling her that story about how horrible penicillin shots are. And she looked at me. She was really confused, and she's like, "That's not how penicillin shots are. The only reason it felt like that was because the shot was cold. If they would have just taken it out of the refrigerator 10 or 15 minutes ahead of time, it would have felt just like any other shot." So just kind of let you know, right? I'm convinced that they did that just to put us in a little bit more pain, but it is what it is. So that's another story about getting shots in boot camp. Thanks.